And just a follow-up to that story, Immigration Minister Otieno Kajwang now joins us live from our city center studios. Very good evening to you, sir. I just want to know, I'm very curious, have you been in touch with the immigration officer after the said suspension yesterday?
No, I have not been in touch with the immigration officer. I was in the office yesterday and today, and I have not talked to him.
Clearly something doesn't add up, Minister. This whole thing of the airport, what would you like Kenyans to know about the whole scenario? What is it that we don't know out here?
Well, certain people just did not follow the procedure of how to manage the border. The Immigration Ministry is in charge of border management, and any other security agency or any other agency must inform the Ministry of Immigration on whatever action they want to take. If indeed Mr. Kimemia wrote this circular, first of all, he should have consulted with us. And secondly, we would then have been aware of its existence. And in my view, we would have amended it to say that who is the state officer that would require clearance from the office of the president. Clearly, the spirit of the new constitution is that there are branches of government that are independent of each other, although they assist each other, that would be intimidated or undermined by being required to seek clearance from the executive. I have in mind Parliament or the judiciary or the independent offices. Of course, if you expect the Attorney General to seek clearance from the office of the President, and then you undermine his authority to do his work.
Mr. Kajwang, if I can ask, who is to blame in all this? Because it looks like a roller coaster. On one end, a mere officer is suspended over this. On the other end, people are, saying it's all propaganda.
No, I consulted with my PS, and I was told that the officer has not been suspended. And I insist that the officer ought not to be suspended, because he merely enforced a circular which was vague. The circular said state officer, and as far as he is concerned, or anybody reading that circular for that matter would understand it, a state officer is anybody who works for the state, and that includes the ministers and the judiciary and Parliament. But the Constitution provides that a minister who seeks to travel ought to seek clearance from the head of state. But any other officer would need such clearance from their heads of institutions. If it is Parliament, then from the Speaker. If it is the judiciary, then from the Chief Justice. And if it is an independent constitutional office, then from the leader of that independent organization.
Maybe my final question, and very quickly, Mr. Kajwang, the change of rule of travel by the government, which has been now put into focus, and apart from the CJ, the IEBC officials also claim to have been stopped from traveling to Ghana. Maybe I can first ask you, were you aware of this, and which are these rules that you're willing to change?
There is no rule that restricts, in the Immigration Act, that restricts anybody, any Kenyan, from moving in or out of the country, except, as I've said, the Constitution provides that a minister needs clearance from the office of the President. In fact, not of the office of the President, but from His Excellency the President. So these rules are administrative, and it seems like the office of the President has decided to enforce certain rules without seeking opinions of other government agencies. I suppose that he would have sought the opinion of the Attorney General before he circulated this circular. It would seem like some other people are not accepting that we are in the new era. Some other people still think that the office of the president is that office of the president that used to lord it over all other agencies of government and departments and branches of government. It is not the same thing.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kajwang, for speaking to KTN. That is Honorable Minister for Immigration, Otieno Kajwang, clearing his verdict over the Kememia saga.